Hello, everyone. Welcome to my talk on maximizing social welfare in a competitive diffusion model. In the context of marketing, awareness and adoptions are two distinct concepts. However, IM works focusing on viral marketing fails to distinguish between the two concepts. To understand this, suppose there is a campaign going on for a pair of AirPods. Let's say there are two users in the network. One uses an Android phone, the other user uses an iPhone. Clearly, the iPhone user has a higher chance of adopting the AirPod compared to the Android user. The only IM related work which can capture this is UIC, which was proposed in SIGMOD 2019, but it focused only on complementary items. In our work, we extend UIC for competing items. Under competition, there are several additional challenges. For example, if the items are purely competing, then one item can completely block the propagation of the other item. In our example, the iPhone user can block the propagation of the Android user. We also consider propagation of multiple items, and different pairs of items can exhibit different degree of competition. As stated, iPhone and Android phone exhibit pure competition, whereas iPhone and iPad may exhibit something what we call partial competition. Now our model can capture all these varieties. Let's talk about the model formally. Its input is a social network modeled as a graph. Here nodes represents the users and edges represent their connections. The edge weights are the influence probabilities. Each node maintains two item sets called desired set and the adoption set. Desired set gets populated via influence, and adoption set is a subset of the desired set that user decides based on the item's utilities. We also assume that the utility configuration is given as input. Next, different from the previous work, we assume that there can be a fixed seed set that is already frozen. And our goal is to select an allocation on top of this fixed allocation while respecting a budget constraint such that the expected social welfare is maximized. Continuing with our example, suppose that we are asked to select seed for the item iPad and our budget is just one. Let's see what happens if we select C as our seed node. Once C successfully influences A, iPad arrives at node A, and node A will adopt both iPhone and iPad according to our utility configuration. Later, A successfully influences node B, but B doesn't adopt iPhone because iPhone and Android phone are purely competing, so they cannot be adopted together. And the propagation of iPhone ends at node B. So at the end, the total welfare is 7. So this is our model, and let's talk about the advantages of having such a model. Since it is built on top of UIC, it inherits the advantages that UIC has to offer. Namely, it separates awareness from adoption. It is also grounded in the utility theory proposed in economics literature. It can deal with multiple items in the context of competitive IM. Typically, works on competitive items focused only on two items. Next, it can model arbitrary degree of competition between different pairs of items. Existing works are limited to pure competition only. However, all this comes at a cost. Our objective is not monotone, it is not submodular, and it is NP hard to approximate it within any constant. So we designed 3 algorithms. The first two has a configuration dependent approximation guarantee. The third algorithm can have constant approximation only under certain assumptions. We describe our algorithms next. Our first algorithm is called SegGrid. It works as follows. Given the budget, we first select seeds for the sum of the budgets that we have. Then we assign the highest utility item to the top nodes. We keep doing this as long as the social welfare is improving. SegGrid gives an approximation guarantee of U mean over U max times 1 minus 1 over E of the optimal social welfare. Here, U mean is the minimum utility of the item, and U max is the maximum utility that we have in the utility configuration. Note that U mean over U max is not a constant. It will depend on the input utility configuration that we have. Another subtle thing to note that the marginal check of whether the welfare is increasing or not doesn't impact the approximation guarantee. However, we will show later it does in fact impact the running time. So we treat this as an option, and SegGrid NM is a variant where we don't perform the marginal check. Our next algorithm is called MaxGrid. In this case, we select the seed corresponding to the maximum budget that we have, and then we assign every item to the top nodes corresponding to its budget. We return the assignment that has the maximum social welfare. This has an approximation guarantee of 1 over M times 1 minus 1 over E of the optimal social welfare, where M is the number of items. Now, to be able to reach that approximation, we need to assume, though, that no allocation was fixed in the beginning. Our third algorithm is called SoupGrid. It is built on top of the RRSet machinery that most of the state-of-the-art IM work uses. This one has the constant approximation, which is 1 minus 1 over E of the optimal social welfare. However, to be able to reach the constant approximation, it needs to follow the following assumptions. Firstly, the items are allowed to exhibit only pure competition. Second, we are assuming that the seed is being selected for a unique superior item from the item set. Now let's talk about the experiments, where we compare these algorithms against the baselines. The first baseline is called TCIM. It is designed for pure competition. The second baseline is called Balancey. It was proposed in NeurIPS 2017, and it can handle partial competition. The third baseline is something we designed, which we call greedy welfare maximization, and it can deal with arbitrary competition. For the utility configuration, we mine it from real items. For that, we use the paper cited as 3. In fact, we show that arbitrary degree of competition is not a made-up concept. In the real data set, this actually exists. We test it on these networks, and in particular, Orkut and Twitter are 2 of the largest publicly available networks. Let's talk about scalability first. As can be seen in the paper, that SegGrid NM and SoupGrid are the 2 algorithms that scale for the large networks. The other algorithms has a simulation bottleneck, because of which they don't scale well for the larger networks. Next, let's talk about quality, which is a social welfare that all the algorithm produces. Now remember that SoupGrid has a constant approximation under certain assumptions. So when those assumptions are satisfied, it produces the best social welfare. However, in the general case, when those assumptions are not satisfied, SegGrid NM typically outperforms the other algorithms. However, there are some special cases under which SegGrid and MaxGrid dominate the other algorithms. Those special cases can be found in the paper. Our third experiment focuses on the cost of welfare, where we compare how much drop we see in terms of just raw adoption when our objective is to maximize the social welfare. As it turns out, the drop is actually tolerable. It's not by large margins. And generally, the low utility item suffers the maximum drop. Whereas if the utility of the item is high, then there is sometimes some increase in the adoption as well. That's all. Thank you for your attention. And if you want to find other resources related to the paper, please follow the website linked by this QR code. Thank you.